under our second caution at Daytona International Speedway. Next week, we are going to be Florida bound once again down at Miami Homestead. That's going to be next week. Homestead, Saturday, February 26, 3:30 Eastern Time for the Florida Dodge Dealers 400 for Miami Homestead Speedway. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com will be on ESPN2. Guess who's going to be the Grand Marshal for that, BP?
For the Dodge Dealers 400?
Yeah. I think it's the guy who's sitting to our right.
Congratulations, Ray.
Yeah, Benny, when you don't have a race car to work on, they can find a lot for you to do. But it's my honor to go down there and do that for my friends at Dodge.
Now, we had a bunch of pit stops during the commercial break. Let's get an update on what happened. Let's go to Amy East first.
Well, Mike Wallace hit his pit stall, and they took on left side tires and fuel. They also checked the front grille for damage. It checked out okay, and Mike requested no chassis change. He liked the truck. Dave Byrne.
Amy, pole sitter Joe Ruttman came in. They changed left side tires and fueled the truck. They came in the first time and changed right side tires, so they're on the right-left rotation, just haven't gotten lefts on Ruttman's truck.
There is Joe Ruttman, right now shown in 8th position. Your race leader is Terry Cook. And then Rich Woodland, who stayed out on the racetrack, is now in 2nd place. Jimmy Hensley is 3rd. Marty Houston is 4th. And Mike Wallace rounds out your top 5. Mike Cope back into the pits. Now remember, he had a right front going down, so he had to come back in. You could only change 2 at a time unless you can prove that you've got a flat spot, and he was able to prove it all right. And so he came back in. They worked on the fenders as well. Lights are out on the pace truck. There's Jimmy Hensley bringing the 16 in. Silverado makes the stop. They're going to go for that grill work. You think he's heating up a little bit, Ray?
Could possibly be. The one thing that makes the trucks heat up, as we talked about before with the draft, that's kind of dead air back there. So they're really not getting the pressure on the radiator to keep the water and the oil cool like it would be if you were out in the open air. So the opening might not be big enough when the guys are in the draft.
We saw the guy trying to clean the debris, the tire. As these tires wear, they grind the rubber off and they become small balls, and they will adhere to the grills of these cars and stop up the grill. So we saw the fellow out there trying to brush that piece of rubber off the grill.
Well, he topped off the fuel, but he drops way back into the pack. Was running 3rd, and he'll have to fall back into line. In fact,
I'm not sure that
31st.
I'm not sure that's right, Marty. I think that Jimmy Hensley's a lap down. They might have accredited him with 3rd and what have you, but it's just hard to believe. He made that unscheduled pit stop and changed it left side.
You're right, BP. I'm checking scoring right now, and they do show him 1 lap down. So Jimmy makes the stop. Let's bring you up to speed just in case you're tuning here and on ESPN. We had one serious incident so far. Watch the 52 right there. Gets into Bodine, and then the chain reaction occurs.
And Jeff Sprang, the 24, and the red 14 of Rick Crawford are the 2 guys that suffer the most. And what a great job that Bodine does to keep this car from going back across the racetrack. Ray, how do you do that?
Luck.
Oh, okay.
Lots of experience, Benny. You know, those guys are used to driving those cars around at 190 miles an hour, and Jeff's been doing it a long time.
Not only on the lead lap, he is shown right now in 8th position. So almost no damage, at least to the front of the truck. So Jeff Bodine, who will not be in the Daytona 500, did not make the show. This is his one chance to get back to victory lane. Whoa! Amick getting squirrely on the restart. Or no, that was Terry Cook that got loose. Another of the yellow trucks. We're back to green flag racing.
And that is something that we have not seen in a long time at Daytona. Cars spinning the wheels, the trucks spinning the wheels on the restart.
That's Rich Woodland, very slow on the bottom of the racetrack.
Rich Woodland just simply missed a ship. That's his problem. As Jimmy Hensley, the 16 truck, trying to get a lap down. But here comes the leaders, and here comes the 75 of Marty Houston and Mike Wallace, and they just blow right by poor Terry Cook.
The question is now, where's Terry going to finish up after this parade goes by.
And that's what we talked about. He had a great jump on these other trucks, but they got that run coming down the backstretch.
And as a driver, you have got to be thinking about this positioning now, lap after lap, seeing these guys go blowing by you for the end of the race, right?
Oh, definitely, Marty. You're trying to find out just who will help you and who you're going to work with. There's certain trucks that they get side by side, your truck will run better or worse, or draft better or worse with another one. So you want to find your dancing partner for the end of the race.
Right now, Jeff Bodine dancing up high.
He's running in 9th place right now as he tries to close up on the back of, I guess that's Greg Biffle. Meanwhile, a battle for the lead. Here comes Wallace and Bobby Hamilton and Lyndon Amy.
Marty Houston's the guy on the high side, and he's going to take the shuffle off the Buffalo. He'll pull back in at 6th. So far, guys, we've had 7 different leaders, 10 lead changes, and we've got 70 laps to go. Here we go again. Mike Wallace down on the inside. Bobby Hamilton, Lyndon Amick on board with Mike Wallace. That's Marty Houston right behind him. I think the thing that's amazing is, despite how big and boxy these trucks are, it's amazing how stable they seem to be with all that traffic and all that airflow.
Well, NASCAR's mandated a spring-in shock rule for the trucks. No less than 1,500 pounds in the front, no less than 425 pounds in the rear. It makes them very stable.
Circuit City telemetry on board with Bobby Hamilton.
Let's check out the miles per hour as he comes down the front stretch. 187, 186 miles per hour. And look at this mess behind him. And Terry Cook's down to the inside trying to go somewhere, but it's tough sledding on the bottom of the racetrack, especially when you have those fast trucks up on the outside. And you talk about a Ford. Finally, Mike Wallace in the 2 truck has a Ford of Greg Biffle behind him.
So that may be a good drafting contingent.
They're right now running 3rd and 4th, and Wallace is trying to look on the outside of Lyndon Amy.
Back on board with Mike Wallace. There is his drafting partner, Greg Biffle, right behind him. And there they go, past Lyndon Amick.
16 trucks in this lead pack.
What great racing, right? About now, all you can tell is your drivers, have fun and be careful.
And Mike Wallace and Biffle work their way right to the front, and Hamilton is now on the outside, going back to 5th, 6th, 7th. Come on, guys. Let me say 8th. Come on, Renfro.
12th lead change, and that's the official ones at the stripe. We've seen it swap a couple of times on the backstretch. Hamilton's looking around saying, Joe, Rutman, where are you? He's 2 trucks behind him. He needs help. Rutman way high. Superguard Dodger Randy Tolsma right behind. Coming down for the tri-oval. This will be completion of lap number 33. The Mopar Dodge crew looking on as Mike Wallace is the leader. Back after this.
Biffle jumped out there trying to take the lead. They're side by side down the back. He has who? Lyndon Amick? No. Oh, man, look at that truck on the outside. Terry Cook.
Terry Cook.
Run.
He's got nowhere to go.
Man. Good stuff.
Kurt Busch.
Look at Kurt.
Backstretch 188.
Yeah, we'll see some 190s as he. Well, Biffle said, I don't think I'll try that in again.
Marty Houston working his way back up. Here he comes.
I think Mike Wallace might have the hoss here. If those Dodgers, the 4 and 18, can't get hooked up, Mike Wallace is going to be hard to beat.